Hey you guys, this is Dr. Walker again, and this is me after work, and I am once again sweaty and disgusting and standing next to the road waiting on a bus. Actually, I got to sit today because I found a seat. So I'm going to sit here and talk to you guys for a couple of minutes while I wait on the bus, I guess. I guess I've been being prompted to tell you guys a story about my new ring that I got. This one. Hold it up to the light. This ring is a Prehnite. I got it where I get all my crystals from in Central Florida, and I'm not going to share that with you. But that's my Prehnite. Look at it. It is not a grade A one, meaning that it's not very clear. It's probably grade B, but that really doesn't matter to me when it comes to my crystals. It's how much I'm attracted to them, right? And I also have some selenite and an amethyst and a red jasper placed strategically on my body just to try to level out the energy that they give out. Now, the interesting thing about my Prehnite is that I have been looking for one for a couple of weeks. Well, not really looking as much as I just wanted one. And I just kind of said, well, I'll find it when it's time to find it, and I found it. And I did a little research on it because I will always be a learning person, a student for the rest of my life. So I like to brush up on information about crystals as much as I can. And I did find some interesting stuff. I think most of it came off of healingcrystals.com, but then there was another blog. I'll have to look to see if I can find it. If I can't, my bad. I'll probably find some other information to share with you or whatever. Prehnites, they're green. And this particular shade of green is really good for heart chakra. And it is a stone for Libra and Virgo. And ironically enough, I am a Libra, but I'm also a Virgo, because technically I was born when the sun was in Virgo, but you know, traditionally speaking, I was born as soon as Libra started, and which is the 23rd. So if you're like on the cusp, I guess, give or take a few days left or right on the calendar, then you're right in the middle too. And it was cool to know that I was attracted to the stone that represented me so well. The healing energies are healing the earth. I don't know what that means. So when I figure out what healing the earth means, I will totally tell you that. I just like to wear it when I garden. What else? It is for also unconditional love. That's the most important one, because I have actually been working on unconditional love, the type that you feel from the divine and the type that you give off to others. So I've been working on giving off unconditional love to others and unconditional love to myself, and removing criticism from how I see others and removing criticism for how I see myself. That little exchange there. And I'm sure it's for some other stuff. It's traditionally used in South Africa, and that'll come up to be important a little bit later after I tell you a little bit of a dream I had. But it's a stone also for softening the borders between the spiritual and the physical. So, and that's going to be pretty important for what I tell you guys later. So on Friday, June 15th, I had what I would consider a nightmare. I don't like to have unpleasant dreams, because unpleasant dreams to me sometimes are wake-up calls, and I don't appreciate wake-up calls very much. I like to live in my little bubble inside of reality. So what happened in the dream is, apparently, I will tell you the things that were worth remembering inside of it, which one big one was I was in Japan, and somebody bothered to say that I was in Japan. There was a raised highway. Outside of a window, there was a raised highway, and there was a beach. Never been to Japan. Don't know if that is even something that's possible there. But somebody in the dream bothered to mention that that was important. All right. And then I was inside of an apartment with my family there. And I've had a couple of dreams similar to this, and my family has been there each time, and they don't say anything ever inside of the dream. But they're always there. And apparently I caught a mortician doing something weird, or a mortician lived in the apartment before we got there on a vacation or whatever we were doing there. So apparently he had put embalming fluid inside of a soda jug or something. I don't know. I ended up drinking it, and I got really sick, and I started to bleed from my nose inside of the dream. Of course, not in reality. I would never drink embalming fluid. I'd probably be dead. I started to bleed from my nose, and I was so upset, and I tried to get out the room, but then someone locked me in. Like, they pushed me in the room, they locked me in, they locked the door, and there was a peephole, or through the crack I was looking through, and I was like, help me, oh my God, help me. I need to get to the hospital. And they were like, no, you gotta suffer like everybody else did. And I'm like, what? What do you mean, everybody else? And what do you mean suffer? I don't like to suffer. Who likes to suffer? Like, suffering goes beyond kinky. Just saying. Yeah, so, and the weird thing was, it was two African gentlemen. Like, I'm African American, so like, but they were African. They weren't African American. They were African men, and they told me I had to suffer like everybody else. So, being the type of mental escape artist that I am inside of my lucid dreams, I decided, fuck this. I'm getting out of this dream. So, I do a little thing in my lucid dreams where I jump dimensions. Okay. It's kind of weird to explain. It's kind of like in my lucid dreams, I have the ability to sidestep into an entirely different dream, or into an entirely different plane of existence. I take like a step to the side. And sometimes if I jump forward, then I can jump into another dream to escape that one. Well, these jumps were not working this time. You know, kind of like your clever mind tricks aren't going to work this time. You got to stay here and suffer like everyone else. And I was adamant about that. No, I'm not going to stay and suffer type of thing. And so I jumped several. I know that 7 came up in the dream. So it took 7 tries. And I wasn't able to jump out of the dream, but I was able to jump back into the apartment out of the room. But then I saw my family bleeding as well, and it made me find out, I guess, maybe it wasn't the embalming fluid that was making me bleed. Like there was something in the air, or it was weird. So I did eventually wake up after several more attempts. I was also float walking. I wasn't a ghost, but I was float walking. And, yeah, and that's, like, I thought maybe I was in this reality that we live in right now, but I was not, because obviously I was still in the apartment in Japan. So, you know, so I, of course, tried again. So after a little bit, I believe Carl Jung, you know, the dream analysis, on like dreammood.com. I went on there and I researched the small parts of the dreams that I could remember, and it appeared to be telling me that I needed to go ahead and surrender and allow my abilities, my intuition, and everything like that, and my sensing to develop in this reality. You know, where I like where I am mentally, and it's comforting, and I can use my mind tricks to get through really anything inside of my day. I'm very good at mental escapism. That's what I tell people anytime they were like, didn't that hurt? Like if I break a bone, or if I twist my knee, or if I, you know, something that would cause an extreme pain, I just let them know, no, my brain shuts off anytime I'm about to experience a crazy amount of pain, especially emotional pain. I go numb, completely numb, cold, like nothing. And that's from years of practice. But we got to break those things down, don't we? So that we can be able to open ourselves up to being able to relate to others and all that fun stuff that people like me don't like to do very much. But it is quintessential to my growth as a human being. So, I mean, how do you even human? I haven't even figured that part out. But we're moving towards a more humanistic outlook on life. So that's why this ring was so great, because I was like, wow, the fact that there was 2 African men in my dream, and I didn't have this ring yet, and I hadn't done any research on it, I just thought it was pretty and I liked it. 2 African men in my dream, and this stone is from native to South Africa, are the ones who locked me inside of the room. This is a softener between the spiritual realm and the physical realm, and that's usually what a beach symbolizes. Taking the high road, you know, this responsibility, you know, that's what this ring contributes to as well. And it's really been helping out. Today, I'll tell you about my experiences that I had today. I was just more sensitive. It really did feel like a lot of my barriers were coming down in that regard. And I feel like, I don't know, everything felt very different, very still, very calm, but very receptive. I was very much touched by emotions today. Anger, sadness, everything. Anything somebody was going through, I was feeling it a lot more today than I usually will feel. So that was very interesting. I was also, I guess, more attractive. Pardon, I'm walking. I was also more attractive to, I guess, people. People really wanted to walk up to me today and just kind of talk to me. And since I'm the type of person who will just sit there and listen to you, I just kind of sat there and listened to them about whatever it is they felt like they needed to say to me about whatever. Doesn't even really matter. So, yeah, my bus is coming, as always, and hope you guys are having a great day. And this is Dr. Walker again, signing off, and I hope this video helped you. And if it didn't, you know, I don't know what to tell you. This is my life. Have a good one.